Kurczę, blaszka, człowiek chwilę się zagapi, ale dobrze, że czuwacie tutaj. Dobry wieczór, kochani, witam was bardzo serdecznie. Ja już się przełączam. Czekamy, aż się zacznie cała impreza. Ja teraz wrzucam story. Eee... O, pięknie. Wrzucam kolejne story na Instagrama. Dawno tego nie robiłem, dawno nie gadałem na story. Witam bardzo serdecznie. Cześć Olafix, cześć stary pan Maciej, witam cię Paulinka, cześć Adaś, cześć zastępca luźnego, cześć Peter. Cześć Mirek, cześć Karolina, cześć Twelvi. Słuchajcie, włączyłem stream. Nie wiem, czy jestem ostry. Lepiej nie będzie. Tak, wiem, że jutro. O, jest i Czesiu. Tak, wiem, że jutro opening live, ale. Opening night. Live night. Ale nie wiem, czy będzie u mnie na kanale. Cześć Mysza, jak tam zegarek? Cześć Apollo, cześć Dakito, cześć Pawtra. Kurczę, już jest was więcej niż na moich ostatnich streamach. Co jest grane? Ej, dlaczego tak rzadko? Powiedzcie mi teraz, dlaczego jest was tak mało na innych streamach. Kurde, streamowałem wczoraj przedpremierowo przecież grę. I gdzie byliście? Cześć Kupson, cześć Marcin, cześć Dekat. Cześć Respaw, kurde, jak dużo osób, których zazwyczaj nie widzę. Ja mam bardzo dobrą pamięć, to wiecie, ja pamiętam, kto przychodzi, a kto nie przychodzi, a kto nie przychodzi, ten sam sobie szkodzi. Znacie takie powiedzenie. Cześć Cypher, cześć Apollo, cześć Mysza. Czekajcie, muszę jedno okno wyciągnąć. Mam nadzieję, że dalej łapie. Dalej łapie, idealnie. No Łukasz, oczywiście ciebie też witam bardzo serdecznie. Cześć Damian, cześć Słodziak. Ja też byłem w szoku. Miałem dzisiaj, jako że wygraliśmy... cześć Disco Tomek. Wczoraj było... a dziś jest dziś, o tak. Zacząłem coś mówić. Że jako że wygraliśmy ten turniej w budowaniu kampów na QuakeConie, to mieliśmy dzisiaj robić zdjęcia tego naszego zwycięskiego kampa. I ja piszę do Marcinka, a Marcinek mi mówi: słuchaj Kuba, ale nie możemy dzisiaj. A ja mówię: dlaczego? Dzisiaj jest opening night, to znaczy Xbox. Ja tak: o panie, ja byłem pewien, że to zaplanowałem. Cześć Maciek, cześć Jakub. Cześć Twelvi, witam bardzo serdecznie. Cześć Megastart 543. Cześć Heros99, bo w gry sam zagram o konferencji, tak bym oglądał. Okej. Plague Tale Requiem. Podobno to był tweet, który oni usunęli, ale mają być niezapowiedziane gry, także może być naprawdę ciekawie. Cześć, zgodny siemanko. Czy Sony będzie miał swoją konferencję? Chyba nie. Sony się jakiś czas temu wycofało w ogóle z Gamescomu, więc teraz oni mają to swoje State of Play. Więc spodziewam się, że tutaj będzie. Ja jeszcze, przez to, że stream zaczyna się za 3 minuty, to dopiero wtedy będę mógł dać full screen, a tak to możemy podziwiać, jak sobie pięknie piszą. Jezu, story. Jak ja dawno nie wrzucałem gadanego story. Jestem sam w szoku. Bez napisów, ale no trudno. Wiecie co, ja nie mam konkretnych oczekiwań. Na tym etapie ja jestem zadowolony z polityki Microsoftu. Fable, bardzo dobra sugestia. O Fable chciałbym zobaczyć, tak. Nie oglądałem konferencji Bungie, Destiny mnie w ogóle nie obchodzi. Czekasz na RTX, na Series X? Co? Ale RTX to jest nazwa kart GeForce'owych. Ray Tracing to jest osobna technologia, która już jest. Od tygodnia mam Series S, no nie dziwię się. Stream Nintendo chyba nic nie zapowiadali. Ja myślę, że mogą być shadow dropy na Game Passie dzisiaj. Tak, no mówiłem nawet o tym Horizonie w jednym z Nienawidzę Poniedziałków. Dzień dobry, mój ulubiony mieszkańcu Wieliszewa! O, Lego Star Wars data premiery może być, faktycznie. Więc zobaczymy. Wątpię, żeby było coś Bethesdy, więc myślę, że tutaj ktoś pisze Starfield na tym czacie. Wątpię. O, Stalker 2. Bardzo dobra sugestia. Tak, Stalker 2 mam nadzieję, że się pokaże. Witam cię, Absyrtos Medea, serwus. Zastanawiam się, jakie tytuły jeszcze, gdy pokażę na nowej Forcy Motorsport. Kurczę, właśnie ten Cuphead. Przecież to DLC już było zapowiedziane wieki temu, jeszcze przed pandemią chyba zapowiadali. Ale tak, miało być z wydaniem pudełkowym wtedy na Switcha. Daniel, witam cię bardzo serdecznie. Cześć Dawid, siema. No to, że Paweł nie śpi, to chyba normalne. Tak mi się wydaje, że to ja bym się zdziwił, jakby spał na przykład. Ale no cóż, no może nie będę złośliwy. Jeśli ktoś nadal liczy na Horizona, to jest królem naiwniaków. Oczywiście, że tak, mamy już wrzesień. To tak samo jakby ktoś mi powiedział, że liczy na God of War'a w tym roku. No please. Cześć Paper Duck, siemanko. Coś nowego od Arcane? Może, chociaż dopiero Deathloopa kończą, więc nie wiem, czy odciągaliby uwagę od Deathloopa. Znaczy, już go skończyli i zaraz będzie wychodził. Destiny, a teraz Kubaka. O, teraz to Microsoft i giereczki, kolego. A ja tu jestem tylko dodatkiem. A jak tam Destiny? Bo widziałem bardzo mieszane relacje na Twitterze. Nie trzymam kredę. Nawet 3 Cuphead nie było. No właśnie, kurczę, ale też nie śledziłem konta Cupheadowego na Twitterze. Fajnie by było, jakby coś jednak pokazali. No czekam na to DLC z tą nową postacią. God of War 2 może wyjść nawet w 2023. Tak, ja też tak uważam. Co to jest Deathloopa? To taka odmiana Delfina. Ej, powiedziałem Deathloopa przecież, Deathloop. Mogę być też jak ci, którzy... Deathloop to po francusku. Mogę być też jak ci, którzy mówią Bioshock na przykład. Umiarkowanie zadowolony. O. Nie widzę nic nowego. No właśnie, oni zamieścili tweeta, którego usunęli, że będą nowe gry. Cześć Zuzanna, witam cię bardzo serdecznie. Właśnie też super by było, jakby Fable pokazali. Dobra, mamy to. Mogę w końcu przełączyć na full screen. Dawać mi to. Cześć Mirek, siemanko. Cześć OKR. Z dźwiękiem by było spoko, nie? Dawajcie znać, czy audio nie jest za głośne. Podczas tej premiery na początku może być za głośne trochę, ale to przy ciszej będziemy regulować sobie. Bioshock to nazwa wsi, dokładnie. Cześć Superion, to prawda, witam cię bardzo serdecznie. PUBG? Cześć Piotr, witam cię. Nie będzie polskich napisów. Nie wiem, czy nawet konferencja na oficjalnym kanale, na polskim. Dobrze, Adaś, wyciszę mikrofon. Mam tylko... Wystarczy, że zrobię... A, zapomniałem, że mnie nie słyszycie. Zaraz mogę zobaczyć na szybkości, czy na polskim kanale... Xbox Polska... Jest z napisami polskimi? No to pięknie, to lecimy z polskimi napisami. Jak tylko się da.
Echt super geil.
Hi, ich bin Nicole, alias NikiZZ und es gibt jede Menge Gründe.
Już leci?
Das fängt mit den Games an, die
What the hell?
Nerd, Schlut, übers Cosplay und hinaus zu meinen Freunden. Gamescom ist für mich das Event im Jahr, wo ich die meisten meiner, vor allem Halo-Cosplayer
Okej, są napisy faktycznie.
Wir sind mittlerweile eine doch große Familie und ich freue mich jedes Mal darauf, sie wiederzusehen.
Chyba się zaczęło wcześniej trochę tutaj, także Polska znowu mistrzem Polski. Jest tylko z lektorem, ja mogę być lektorem. O! Czy to Microsoft Flight Simulator? Tak wygląda. Genshin Impact to moja ulubiona gra, zaraz pokażę o powieściach.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Gamescomu
Kurde.
2021 Xbox
Future is
stream.
now.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's
Okay.
so much going into this, and Playground Games' vision of Mexico is muy, muy bonito.
And we'll be getting our first look at the cover car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Let's get started with Techland and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel, Dying Light 2 Stage.
Damn! Okej, jestem zaskoczony.
Hello, I am Tymon Smektała, Dying Light 2 lead game designer. And this is Dawid Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way through its brutal and dangerous streets. Though, as you will see in a moment, there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go!
Yeah, let's
Sometimes I
go.
wonder what this city looked like before all
Cześć
this.
Robert, siemanko.
Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city,
No fajne to miasto.
they tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones. Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other.
Siema Marcin.
War broke out.
Was it a little bird? Met a broken leg?
Hope died. Now
Ciekawe,
the
czy
city
ktoś jeszcze
fallen.
pamięta, że Chris Avellone miał bodajże pisać scenariusz do tego i pomagać przy tworzeniu wyjątkowej gry.
I can't let that happen. At least, not yet.
Ale ryjec.
I need the secrets this city holds.
Fuck! Hey! Still some rats here!
I have to pick a side.
The bazaar needs good people.
You're doing great so far.
I have to make a difference.
Let's check and see.
Ale powiem wam, ten trailer jest super zrealizowany. O, pierwszy growy stream z córką. To dobrze, że tutaj trafiłeś. Ja nie rzucam mięsem. Jakie kastety!
Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Okej, już miałem powiedzieć,
that
że
was
za
an
długi jest ten
exciting trip,
trailer,
wasn't
ale...
it, Timon?
Cześć
Did you
Sultan.
notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The Vault Kids being the
i tak
most
tutaj
important
wiesz,
to
nawet
me
2,5 roku to
personally.
i tak
It brings a whole new
tutaj
fighting
stała
style
zasada
into
bez
the game.
mięsa.
The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform
Kanał bez
further
mięsa.
attacks. For example,
Genialne.
by rebounding from their bodies, jumping of them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they love it.
Cześć Liv!
It's
Co tam u
definitely
ciebie?
going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers.
Nie no, nie
around,
gadajcie,
like
angielski
a
mają
paraglider,
dobry, po
which can
prostu
support
akcentu nie
players
mają,
in
mają
both parkouring
polglish
and
taki
combat.
typowy,
Exactly,
ale
and it's
mówią
gonna do
bardzo
great,
dobrze.
especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now,
Ale na
at
pewno z
least
promptera
during the day.
korzystają.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks,
Ale
David.
super mają miejscówkę do nagrywania. Bardzo fajnie światło operowało w tym wiatraku. Zupełnie inne ciepłe światło było za oknem, za tymi deskami, rewelacja. Ej, no to super.
Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals.
Jestem ciekaw, ile cwaniaków tutaj by sobie lepiej poradziło od nich. To nie jest wcale takie proste, zwłaszcza jak mówicie przed kamerą.
Flight Simulator, York Newman to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on console.
Jezu, wygląda
How did that go?
trochę jak taki grubszy ja i starszy. No, bez kitu. Dużo grubszy, ja jestem szczuplejszy.
I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well.
Nawet jakby była za duża, to bym nosił.
We are absolutely shattering franchise records.
Wiesz co, Kupson, mi się wydaje, że zdążą, skoro już tak teraz jest mocno promowana ta data premiery w sumie niewiele, na 4 miesiące przed. Moim zdaniem to by było ryzykowne.
All right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on here. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier. The fans are super excited. They saw the FA-18.
Powiem wam tak, Brytyjczycy i Amerykanie mają w dupie gramatykę i to zarówno swoją, jak i waszą, więc bylebyście mówili składnie i oni was zrozumieli i tyle.
There's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time.
Paweł, ty akurat grałeś w to. Gra jest fajna, ej, nie hejtujmy. Microsoft Flight Simulator jest naprawdę spoko. Jest nie dla każdego. Jak teoretycznie każda gra, ale... Czy będę grał w Pokémon Unite? Nie mam w planach.
And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map
Cześć Mike,
that
siemanko.
helps us with the mountains, so the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria. And those cities look just amazing.
Remaster GTA wątpię, chociaż może podczas Gamescomu generalnie, ale to byłby mocny punkt, jeśli Microsoft miałby te remaster GTA na swojej konferencji, to już wygrywają.
Spread them throughout the simulation, and we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland, and what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new
no właśnie, Cypher to jest ten problem, że wydałem kupę kasy, żeby Flight Sim działał znośnie, czy gra mnie. Ale ja też ściągałem te 130 giga chyba tej gry na Xboxa Series X, odpaliłem, polatałem chwilę, mówię, ładne, fajne, usunąłem.
That is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way
Dodo
that
Airlines,
you're gonna be able to
no.
actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation, when you love aviation like we do.
Gamescom się jutro
you actually
zaczyna.
realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship.
Słuchajcie, to ja ten czas
with
wykorzystam,
flying
żeby wam
aviation.
trochę opowiedzieć o
Sometimes it's,
kontrolerze, który
the first
mam do
experiments
testów
with
od Banggood.
aircraft,
On
or
się
a
pojawi w
famous
trzecim
pilot,
odcinku
or
Made in
a
China, bo
feat
seria
of
wraca na
aviation,
kanał.
or like a local manufacturer.
I to
So we
jest,
thought to ourselves, why do we not
szczerze
use these
mówiąc,
world updates
to jest
to
chyba
celebrate the planes? So we are
na
announcing a
równi
new
z
series,
Pro Controllerem
we
od
call them
Nintendo.
Local Legends. And
Jest,
think about
ma
that
tutaj
as planes
dodatkowe
that are
przyciski z tyłu,
locally
więc to już
well
bardzo
known,
na
like in
plus.
that
Jest
region, but
super
outside the world
wygodny,
not so
tak
much.
dobrze leży w
And
łapach.
why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52.
O,
In
2DS,
Germany, it's
super.
actually is lovingly
Ale
named,
gorzej, że czekasz na
Tante U,
serwis.
so and you. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is
No,
as
ty
good
to
as
się
you
lipna
can
patrzysz
do
na
this.
samolot
And
w
then we're
pracy.
working with, for the Junkers, we
Cena
work
tego
with Ben
kontrolera, on
Junkers,
chyba
who
około
is the
200
grandson
zł
of the
kosztuje,
original creator
ale
of
ja
the
jeszcze
plane,
będę o nim
Hugo
opowiadał w
Junkers. And he's
materiale
helping
na
us here
pewno
with a ton of
więcej,
inside and materials.
bo
Then we work
jest
with an
naprawdę
organization that is
spoko.
preserving
Zresztą
one of the last surviving examples
w
of the
pierwszym
Junkers.
odcinku
So
będzie
they let us
klawiatura,
scan and
to
take
mogę wam
photographs.
zdradzić.
And then we were lucky
W
that
drugim
to find
będzie
a pilot
Ambernik,
that actually flew
a w
one of
trzecim
those
będzie
planes while he was
właśnie
still flying in the real world.
8-bit
And he
2
he lets
do
us know, like, is
Pro
the
2.
carpet right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in
Fantastyczny
the air?
kontroler, naprawdę jestem
So we're having a
oczarowany.
blast working with these experts to really bring these, to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like
Tak,
you're
dokładnie, była
creating
tylko
like
jedna
a
gra póki
digital
co, Dying Light
museum for
2.
aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Ja też nie
Yeah,
widzę
I mean,
powodu,
it's
żeby
basically
wracać do
that.
Animal
It's a museum
Crossing,
with flyable
bo
planes. So we're
oni
working
mówili,
with,
że pracują nad
40
patchami,
museums around the world.
contentem.
And it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these
Dobra,
crew leaders,
gruby jas
these are their
przyszłości,
babies,
starczy
And they
tego.
sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes, and they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment, and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter.
Yeah.
And they're making an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly.
Dobra,
in the flight simulator.
opowiedzcie, co
That's
tam
coming
dzisiaj
out
u
in
was, jak
November.
wam dzień minął?
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Nie, powiedz, że
There's one
nie!
more thing. I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association. And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race.
Jaka obecnie według Ciebie jest rozsądna cena tych kart rozszerzeń? No, rozsądna cena, to ja bym powiedział, że no te 750 zł to jest spoko, ale szczerze mówiąc, to...
We're going to the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
Nie, to jeszcze będą pokazywać. Jezus Maria, Mir. Byłaś u lekarza z tym? No właśnie, zwiastun nowego Spidermana, czy wszyscy widzieliście? Dawać dalej. Okay.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world, there's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And
Ja sam bym polatał
a
takimi,
competitive
Paweł.
multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
All right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
To ładne. Game Pass, to mi się podoba. O, jakie fajne! Co? Już mi się podoba. Pikselki na zawsze w sercu. O nie! Kurde, fajne. Cześć Arwi, siemanko! Dobrze cię widzieć, stary. Wow. Cześć Iwo, siemanko!
They did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4.
Zaraz, czyli teraz je dodali? Teraz będą dostępne?
Sea of Thieves, but now we've got a new roguelike retro shooter that in grand retro fashion sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
No tak, no tylko płatna wersja jest Quake'a. W Kenę będę grał, na Kenę bardzo czekam. Stray nie bardzo czekam. Nie rozumiem zachwytów w internecie. Siema Krzysiek.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk Age 4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that, and we've also shown a little bit of our campaign.
A no tak, No More Heroes w tym tygodniu. W piątek pewnie będzie stream, bo powinno przyjść. Cześć Michał, siemanko.
Way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more.
Adrian Bell, witam w gronie patroników.
Okay, we can get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So, what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called hands-on histories. And what they are is a great way to like deep dive on certain
No właśnie liczę najbardziej na
from
Halo.
the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
No tak, zapomniałem, że przecież nawet patroniki dają wam grzybka obok nika.
A counterweight trebuchet.
Tak, dokładnie, Paweł. Wczoraj było nie więcej niż 40 osób.
Siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing
Tak,
down
trebuchet.
castle walls from great distances. At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world. Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had
Ale
evolved into
bydlak.
devastatingly powerful
Cześć, Pajo,
weapons.
siemanko.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of two that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released,
Ej,
the sling whips round,
no.
vastly increasing the launch speed.
Czy warto Quake'a brać? Moim zdaniem tak, super się gra.
Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
Jeśli grałeś w niego wcześniej, jak byłeś młodszy, to jest świetny powrót do przeszłości. Szczerze, ta konferencja póki co to takie mocne 6 na 9.
They all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. This one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
Albo jeden amerykański.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Takim trupem oberwać. Z Gamescom się skończyło i Discovery Channel oglądacie, tak,
It was the
dokładnie.
counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate
Jezu,
medieval
ale
siege
dźwięk,
weapon.
jak w grze taki sam przecież dźwięk jest, piękne.
You know I'm going to say trebuchet. Don't care, because that is awesome and remarkably unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And
No ale niestety
you could say that about
Age of
any
Empires
subject,
jest w
right?
Game Passie,
But
tylko że na
I think the
PC.
great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so for these, we really wanted to do that same thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were
Jezu,
made.
30
And
minut?
it's
Cześć
been
Marcin,
delightful
siemanko.
to kind of go through that process and, you know, get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery.
Okay.
And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, you know, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when you shot them. And but we've also got all of these ones on, you know, like illuminated history and hawk falconing and, you know, like horse taming, armor creation. And there's even one on Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments, we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing as them in the campaign, in the game.
I mean, I just love the behemoth amount of history that you guys... Age of Empires, always known for bringing history alive in a completely different way. And I also love to mention this to people that you and the team do so much research. And it's so great to see this approach being used in a hands-on history kind of segment. But, I mean, what was that approach like to sort of, you know, sell going forward, especially since it's such a unique game experience?
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted to do is try to tell these stories in a different way. But I'll tell you, like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking because we're trying something completely different that no one's ever done before in a game, right? We're we're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having fun. And finding that middle ground has been really challenging. And you know, every time we've tried to show, we've shown the campaigns.
Spokojnie, to tylko ja testuję coś,
it's gonna work. Like people are gonna like this. And the great thing is so far, everyone that's really experienced the entire thing put together have just been like, wow, this is great. And it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, you know, to get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned journey because we are coming towards the end of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, you know, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title, and if you're really, really excited, right now you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well, so anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing. But...
Yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you
Cześć Kuba, siemanko.
A bit of a tease from Mr. Ice Green.
Maybe.
And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now, we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
Jakich tekstach o samolotach?
That's right, Kate. Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new
Na
console
spełnienie marzeń
just to
piesków
play
akurat
with
idzie
your
i
friends.
kotków,
See
także
how the vision
dziękuję.
of cloud gaming will bring people together without barriers.
Cześć Paweł, siemanko. No jest tak grubo, że...
Cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you could play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal. That's pretty great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
This actually looks
To jedna z gorszych konferencji, jakie oglądałem, serio. Cześć Jarek, wcale się nie dziwię. Słuchajcie, jeśli macie problem z zasypianiem, Doktor Kubaka ma dla was rozwiązanie. Przed snem odpalcie zapis tego streama i zostawcie komentarz. Dzięki doktorze Kubaka. I wtedy będę wiedział, że wam pomogłem. Dziękuję. Przed użyciem zapoznaj się z lekarzem lub skonsultuj się z farmaceutą, gdyż niewłaściwe stosowanie zaleceń doktora Kubaki może doprowadzić do... nie wiem czego.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Tak.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very smooth.
The process itself to get into cloud gaming feels like you're playing on console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press play.
It's so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
A też w moim merchu z Isla Benis chodzi o to, że jak Animal Crossing było na topie, tak się nazywała moja wyspa.
I really love the flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of having to be on a specific platform or a specific console. Play on PC and mobile and now on...
Ja będę Doktor Sen. Ja, to znaczy ta konferencja, ja będę tylko głosem dodatkowym. Mirek, Game Passa można w wielu promocjach dorwać za 4 zł za miesiąc. Złe stosowanie prowadzi do straczki. Dobre, tak. Tak, jak macie dobry net, to jest super. Ja w telefonie na 5G, magia, pięknie działa. What? O kurde.
Saw the release of the free optimized update
No
for
właśnie,
Hellblade:
Hellblade
Senua's
2.
Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials.
Czy oglądałem
alongside
Doktor Sen?
performance
No,
updates,
najpierw
this is
czytałem
the
książkę,
perfect
później
opportunity
obejrzałem
to
film.
relive Senua's journey or experience it for the first time.
Cześć
And
MC,
if you
dzień
haven't
dobry.
played this, do yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days,
Teoretycznie
including
tak,
12
Superion.
minutes
Zależy,
and the
czy
big
przeglądarka w
They're
360
also talking
wspiera
with
to.
developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2. So join the live Q&A.
A, skończyłem prawie
to get
12
burning
minutes.
questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right you are, Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3. Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult
Czy
of
to
the
ekskluzyw?
Holy Detonation.
Chyba tak. Znaczy jest też na PC. Na PS4, PS5 chyba nie ma.
Deep within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you.
Co jest?
Set on a righteous
Nie może najnudniejszy stream świata się zacinać.
The light of the
No.
holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features, like a fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets better with age. To really savor the game's bouquet, we're talking with In Exile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile, Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop full tilt trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened
Jezus,
to the community,
synu,
we've
zgul
fixed
ten
bugs,
koper
added
na
stability,
brodzie.
and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't,
Tak, no
Cheyenne
bo było w
Mountain
trailerze,
is
teraz
this,
ja ją
top
kojarzę.
secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help
Cześć,
securing
Nix,
this secret
witam cię. Gdzieś
military
ty
base and
była?
all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two
Gdzieś ty
warring
była, co
cults
się stało?
battling
Słuchajcie, w
over
międzyczasie
supremacy, trying to take
możecie
control of the
mi
Holy
pomóc
Detonation,
rozsądzić,
which is this pre-war
czy ta
science
okładka jest
experiment
hot
that
or
they worship
not.
as a god.
To jest ze Stardew Valley,
And,
limitowana
these cultists are
edycja.
insane, they're
Już jest w moich
mutated,
rękach.
they've gone
Na
totally
Instagramie
mad,
jest głosowanie,
and,
także wbijajcie na
all
moje
they wanna do
Instastory.
is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team.
Cześć
How
Janko, nie
generous.
dziwię się.
That sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there
Choroba,
and
o
mix it up,
kurde.
right?
Mam nadzieję, że
So
już
you
wszystko
and the ranger
dobrze.
team insert yourself right smack
Mówiłem
dab in the middle
wam,
of
doktor
Death Holy
Kubaka
War, which,
zaleca
what could go
przed
wrong?
snem
And this is a
obejrzenie
Wasteland
zapisu
game, so
tego
you decide
streama.
everything. Choice and consequences are
Zaśniecie
bread and butter.
jak
So you
ululani
decide who
przez
lives,
mamę.
Who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft. and
Cypher, ja się z tobą
That's
zgadzam.
awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, you know, what are you going to do to actually top
Wcale
something
nie
like that from
dziwam.
the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted like returning players to find something that they could never find.
Ja mam w głowie
in another
teraz
version or, like, in
to,
previous
co
versions
mogłem
of
robić
Wasteland
przez
3.
te
And so
38
we built
minut,
this as a Wasteland-style dungeon
ale
crawl. And in there
jedyny
you find this
plus
awesome mix
tego,
of
że to
mystery,
streamuję,
exploration.
to
You're
jesteście
meeting these
wy.
crazy cultists who have been locked in this like pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk
No
to
to
me
Nix,
about these
trzymam
big
kciuki,
boss
żeby tak
battles. I
było
wanna hear
cały
more about
czas.
that.
So
Mam
we took
nadzieję,
the
że będziesz
best
częściej
parts
się
of
pojawiać.
Wasteland combat and we breathe new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're like huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Like everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head
Nie,
and really
nie
have to
ominęło cię
rethink
nic,
how they go about
cokolwiek
combat
ciekawego.
and making it
Znaczy,
new,
nic
exciting,
cię nie
and
ominęło. O.
challenging in a like mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. Like Exile's modus operandi is if we're like brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having
Spoko,
fun,
Superior.
our fans
Cieszę
are
się,
going
że
to have fun
jesteś.
along with us. And so we got to explore, like really letting you get deep into this like weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and like maybe even join them. And so like for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet,
Nie no,
is
czy
this
powinny
spattering
umierać
beast. He's got,
izometryczne?
like,
Moim
claws
zdaniem
and
nie.
fangs
Dalej
and
jest
spikes
szansa na
jutting out,
zrobienie
and
takich
he's
gier
drooling,
naprawdę
but he's like the
dobrymi.
nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. Like you meet him and he's like, hey.
O, no znowu serwery mają dosyć. Ale to jak oni przedstawiają tę grę, to jest jakaś masakra. To jest tak cholernie nudne. O, widzicie, ale teraz już jest dużo lepiej, jak przestali gadać. Halo? Panie Xbox.
Hey guys.
Dobra, może akurat...
It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but, you know, the Wasteland's a pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player, say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we've put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it, and then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this work of passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cult of the Holy
Detonation coming October 5th. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique chipsets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Cypher! Coś dla ciebie, stary! Okej, tutaj akurat wyłączę Elgato. Nie, Quake kosztuje 20 zł. I jest Claptrap jako beczka!
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be
Żebym się jarał Sea of Thieves na konferencji Microsoftu, tego jeszcze nie było.
The Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves, and we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life, and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Larina at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to
Artur, czy jest szansa na Fable 4? Szczerze mówiąc, patrząc na ten line-up.
As always, I will see you on the seas.
I tak to powinno wyglądać. Krótkie konkrety, bez pitolenia, a nie zaraz będzie jakiś Janusz Czajkowski, który jest w Stanach i pracuje nad dźwiękiem do gry, jak opieracie się o krzesło. Właśnie o to chodzi. I następna gra, cyk.
Hope. It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley.
A State of Decay? Tak.
But now, it's hope that brings us back together. It reunites old friends. It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat, hope is the greatest weapon we have.
Oh yeah! Oczywiście, że wolałbym pograć po lata 76. Już myślę o dziennych wyzwaniach, chociaż teraz zamknąłem ostatni sezon, więc już nie muszę. No, jest na Series S też, oczywiście.
Just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please join me in welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here, talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very
Mały
excited
ten
to
ekran
get this
jest,
into
więc nie
players'
wiem, jak
hands.
będę sobie
You
radził,
are
ale...
indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen, because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly
Kiedy
right.
coś z Animal?
So,
Dobre
the events
pytanie.
in
Grałem w
Heartland,
Medium, mi się
kind
podobało.
of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there
Dobra,
is
poczekajcie.
a lot for
O,
players to discover,
co ten kontroler
a lot
tak
of
wariuje?
environmental storytelling to find. And, you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley. that
Paweł,
players
witam w gronie
might remember.
patroników.
So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the
Dobra,
expanded
wiecie jak zrobimy?
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something
Zrobimy
unique
tak.
with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement
Słodki
hunters.
Jezu kolczasty.
And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
Ja
A
też jestem
juggernaut
tak
amount
excited.
of content, and I don't care who
Yes,
sees that
I
second
love
pun
it.
of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able
Czy
to
są
say,
trebusze?
"Ah, we
Cześć
did it, you
Georgiu,
get it."
siemanko.
And we have a major
No
milestone that we're
totalnie tak,
celebrating.
już wiem
State of
czemu
Decay 2
skasowali.
has 10 million lifetime
Nie
players.
widziałem jeszcze Suicide Squad.
10 million lifetime hang your hat on that. I absolutely love that. That is
Really grateful.
incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at
Thank
Undead
you.
Labs, man. Fantastic work. Well, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give me the deets one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass. Happy Homecoming.
I love it. Thank you, Wonder, very much.
My pleasure.
Ale
Now we move from
śmieszne.
Trumbull Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Stray Blade.
Prawie Fable. Prawie Fable, kochani. Prawie Fable. Na co bardziej czekam? God of War czy Horizon?
In Stray Blade, you discover
Trudno
the
powiedzieć.
mystical Lost Valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between the epic fights and this small
Cześć, Mati
guy,
Joker,
there's
siemanko.
clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Stray Blade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, game director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Stray Blade.
Dobra, daję temu szansę.
Stray Blade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji.
Dowcipnym wilkiem,
Master
haha!
the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high
Cześć, Salihady Paltair, witam cię bardzo serdecznie.
To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving
Wilk się za babę
Enemies stay
przebierze.
dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened, and when
Cześć,
Boji
Cypher,
revives
trzymaj
you,
się.
only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Stray Blade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Okej, to był sensowny pokaz. Jeśli teraz nikogo nie zaproszą do studia jeszcze. Co
Next
małe?
up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
Cześć, Fiflak.
In case
No
that
tak
didn't
prawie
tip you
godzinę
off,
temu.
we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Jak nie będzie
It's
trebusza.
coming to Xbox as an adaptation,
Cześć,
not
Arwi,
a direct
trzymaj
port,
się.
meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
My son, we must never forget the crimes
Okej,
committed
to
against
w
us.
sumie bym zagrał, a że będzie na konsoli, to tym lepiej.
Sought his glorious revenge
Co jest mały kartoflu?
and failed.
Wodę piłeś, bo masz peszczek mokry, co? Tak? Skończy się konferencja, to idziemy na siłę.
He never
Czy ty idziesz?
understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings,
Mały gamonie.
not warriors. With daggers, not swords.
Coś fajnego było? Szczerze to nie.
Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations. You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Nie było Halo! Nie było!
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic 60s wonderland kind of weird?
A, no ta gra jutro
Exactly
wychodzi,
that kind of
racja.
weird. Which means I am
Przestań.
so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really is something special about Psychonauts, isn't it?
There really is indeed. Now, think about
Miłego
this.
wieczoru, Nick,
2005,
wstrzymaj
when
się.
Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games.
O, nie
For
chwalmy dnia
sure.
przed
They were all
zachodem
big, beefy
z
shooter
tymi
games.
wywiadami.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and
Pamiętajcie, że
humanity
stream
in
z
an era
Psychonauts
when
2
games
był
were
wczoraj na
increasingly
kanale,
turning
możecie
grimy,
obejrzeć
dark,
zapis.
and
O,
combative.
zróbcie to.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
With psychic powers, he dives into your mind.
My name is Raz, and I'm the new intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Weź podaj pudełko.
Did you forget everything
Muszę
I
nauczyć
taught you
aportować
about
pudełka.
levitation, Rasputin?
Bez ich
I'm not
niszczenia.
supposed to
Ups.
check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you
Wszyscy nagle wygląda super. Ludzie, to wczoraj było na streamie u mnie. Gdzie byliście wtedy?
I've got eyes on me.
A gra jest fantastyczna.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Oh boy.
When men do misfires, turn the world on its side.
Nie wydaje mi się, żeby przemielili Double Fine ze względu na to chociażby, jak dobre oceny ta gra zebrała. I faktycznie bardzo zasłużone.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Leave it to me.
Gra jest mega. Nie, to nie jest ekskluzyw. To znaczy wersja next-genowa jest ekskluzywna, bo PS5 będzie miała tylko wsteczną kompatybilność. Czy Czarny Koń tego roku to zdecydowanie jedna z lepszych gier.
16 years ago.
Więc tak zastanawiam się, czy sobie można...
O! I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which was
Jedynka, pamiętajcie, też jest w Game Passie.
a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's
Cześć,
fun
Kuba,
about a Psychonauts
siemanko.
game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons. And I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they are definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts. And some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also some regrets.
Cześć Mir, trzymaj się.
Some flying regrets. They're our ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. He energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new bad mood.
Including the bad mood.
Which is...
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way, wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game. He has three new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect two thoughts and actually connect two thoughts together to solve puzzles.
Wszystko to możecie zacząć na poprzednim
He
streamie.
has power of time bubble, which
U
is
mnie na
just
kanale.
change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle.
Córka mi uznała na streamie, ciekawe czemu. No ciekawe.
Let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends.
Oh.
And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know, already, I'm sold,
cześć, Adrian
but you
Perez,
of course already
siemanko.
knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for The Gunk.
Nie kupuję CD Action. Czemu miałbym?
I don't like this weather.
To było zapowiedziane?
Insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
Nie było Halo. To jest ładne.
Bex. Oh, please, Bex.
O, to jest Image and Form Games, okej. Kiedy? O, ich bardzo lubię, to już było zapowiadane. No i gdzie jest piłka? Piłka where?
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on! And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week.
Jak to jest koniec, to jest jakiś żart.
So make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job.
Nie ta kamera.
For sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open world driving
Tak,
game
dokładnie
Forza
tak, super.
Horizon 4
Teraz już taki mały nie
arrives
jest.
on Xbox
Nie?
consoles,
Dabciu?
Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all
Właśnie
this new
to samo,
exclusive
ja o tym chciałem się
And that
dowiedzieć
is
więcej.
twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already
Jezu,
watching on
bo
Twitch
idą
or one of
całkiem
the
nowy
channels,
cringeometr kupiłem i już się
Without
zepsuł.
further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Okej, dobra. Sam nie wiem, czy... Co o nim myśleć? Muszę zacząć zdjęcia.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arceta. Hello, everybody.
Hi everyone. Hi Charlie.
Nie, z tego co wiem, Psychonauts 2 nie będzie miał wersji
Stunning.
pudełkowej.
Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front, isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful, all-new graphical features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait. And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
O! Zacięło się. Grałem w 12 minut, prawie skończyłem. Robię wszystkie zakończenia teraz.
Mercedes AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
Kurde, jarałbym się tym bardziej, gdybym mógł zobaczyć materiał źródłowy. To jest tak rozmyte.
Traffic ahead. Watch out for that. Making new friends, eh? You go enjoy yourself. I have to go make another delivery. Zone approaching! Lovely day for a drive!
So now we see the 2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Outtrack the storm! No sigue adelante! Keep going!
A tak, Midnight Fight Express będzie faktycznie, to jest polska gra. Czy będzie Stardew Valley na streamie? Nie wiem. Może. Wow, okej.
Okay, on my mark. 5, 4. 4 now, that's fine. This could get a little rough. Touchdown! Not even a scratch. The jungle awaits.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos!
A ja chyba akurat wolę Meksyk. Podoba mi się, mimo tego jakiej jakości jest ten stream, to ten klimat tutaj bardziej mi chyba odpowiadał od Anglii. Okej, już wiem skąd pomysł na te konkretne kolory.
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
Horizon, this is Mexico. We've already had cars falling out of the sky.
Jezu, pięknie to wygląda. I ta muzyka, okej, no muzyka robi, bardzo mi robi, uwielbiam taką muzykę. No, Superion, raczej zapomnij o Halo. Uwielbiam jeździć na mega speedzie przy Beethovenie. Szanuję to, bardzo szanuję to Superion. To jest koniec! Absolutnie jedna z najgorszych konferencji Microsoftu. Dziękuję, że tu ze mną byliście, bo bez was ja bym to wyłączył po 15 minutach max, także dzięki, że mogłem z wami być. No i cóż, będę na dniach nagrywał nowe materiały, postaram się w tym tygodniu wrzucić na kanał. Pamiętajcie, że wspierający oglądają wcześniej. Zerknijcie na Patronite, YouTube, cokolwiek. Ale przede wszystkim wpadnijcie w poniedziałek o 18 na Nienawidzę Poniedziałków. Będzie mi bardzo miło. A teraz życzę wam wszystkiego dobrego. O, dzięki Artur, dziękuję. Pamiętajcie, w poniedziałki o 18 Nienawidzę Poniedziałków. Streamy w tygodniu, odpowiednio wcześniej wrzucam informacje na kanał, także obserwujcie. I cóż, i udanej reszty tygodnia, kochani. Ja zabieram psa na spacer i widzimy się wkrótce. Trzymajcie się, bądźcie w zdrowiu.